Hey everybody, welcome back to the final station. I need Flamio. Interesting that when we went a different way. Okay, we got key A and key B. This does not look promising. Oh, greetings. Yeah, I'm very curious why you're strung up like this. Could you please help me? I've been looking for a dining room. Took a wrong turn, it seems. Don't trust me? That's fine. He will release me. Okay, I'm confused. Test subject Peter Elliott, manager. Offense F501, petty theft, obedient and passive. We're gonna be doing some learning here, I think. Test subject Amanda Barriott, unemployed. Offense. Oh, yeah, offense. D204, multiple aggravated assaults. Traits, rude, introverted. Yep, one of the fast ones. Shotgun does better job with melee damage. Test subject Robert Wright, unemployed. Offense G212, serial homicide, arsonism, traits, aggressive. So he's an explosive one. And then we're gonna get a big one. Test subject John Garrett, no offense. Purposeful, highly intelligent. Okay, he dug himself a way out. Oh, is it you? A lot of work he put into his great breakout. But it doesn't matter now, since he has accomplished nothing. I'm trying to figure out what that guy is. I mean, he's gotten places that before I have had a chance. I really couldn't go back the other way. I'm just confused a little bit. I mean, clearly the traits of people affected what they turned into. I thought I picked up all the keys. Maybe I missed one. I got key A and key B. Oh, I see. I got pistol ammo from that. Oh, Jesus. I got wrecked. How far back am I gonna go? Oh, god damn it. Look, I'm good at this. I'm basically Buffy the Vampire Slayer of these assholes. Okay, I clearly didn't miss a key. I just can't go that way. It's odd. Did I get up? Yep, we got all that. Yep. Not sure who he is. My best guess at this moment is that he's talking about our friend, the shotgun-toting badass. Yeah, we know what you have to say on the matter. Alright, I'm not going to waste time by accidentally getting myself killed looking for a key that doesn't matter. We're going to run into like a capsule at some point here. When stuff passes into the foreground, it really throws me off. Tent rental, beer, condoms. Yeah, there's a receipt, and they died getting it on, which is not the worst way to die, let's be honest. For last weekend, you know, nice camping trip, and it seems like a pretty nice place. This is odd. Don't know if there was like a murder going on, and they just turned into that. There's a capsule. Yep. Bad for us. Like, that just really throws me off. I'm expecting immediate bad guys on the other side. a nice little house. You'd think we'd be able to unlock it. Nah, we're turning. Clearly. Still feel like we're gonna be short on story. Suppose we shouldn't have left. Why, oh why didn't I take the blue bus? Nope, I do not have a gun. Oh, I'm home. This is weird. TV is not working anymore. Good afternoon. I'm leaving you for Alan. Now you have all the time in the world for your stupid music. Dear tenant, this is a formal notice of your eviction. Your order is terminated since the day you have failed to pay up. You are granted 6 days to withdraw from the apartment. Since I guess we can't punch. Have we gotten too weak to defend ourselves? Is that the 400,000 copies album On Top of the World, recorded at Alan Bourne Studios. Lyric soundboard composer Alan Bourne. Interesting. It said the note said I'm leaving you for Alan, but it looks like that's Alan. Why are there people who seem to be fine? We're doing like a retraversal of everything. It couldn't guess it would take you so long. Not offering you drinks this time. You're running late by any means. I'm confused. Once the portal is in place, they can send everything required here. But we should take down the barrier first. Once we cut down its power, we may unite with the neighboring area. This day goes down in history. It's like this is a cult that is accepting the darkness. Like in this town, that's what's happening. I see. You're almost there. I won't spoil you the surprise. Okay, this is my daughter's room? I'll take care of her. Well. Anything else past the credits? Okay. So, the final station. I'm curious what happens if I hit continue, but also, wow. So, this game, at least for me, was it was enjoyable. I was gonna say it was a pleasant surprise, but I don't know if that's accurate, because it wasn't particularly a surprise at a very certain point. I originally thought that this was going to be a roguelike. I didn't pay attention on Steam enough to read all the tags to see that it was not, in fact, a roguelite or roguelike. But all the stuff on the game page made it sound really interesting to me, and I do not think I was misled in any way. It was my own failure to read that had me misconstrued. Now, obviously, when I first started playing this game, if you were watching those first couple episodes, you will see that I said, oh, this isn't actually a roguelike at all. I thought it really was like you go from station to station. I think it was more the game that I envisioned in my mind was you go from station to station to station, and you collect things, and like that's your level, right, is each station. And as you go, it becomes a roguelike because, you know, maybe you don't make it as far this time or that time, and eventually, you know, you learn and get good enough. However, it was a little bit more of a straightforward game. You know, obviously, if you were watching, you saw the mechanics. You know, it's a little bit of a shooter, 2D shooter, but also, I mean, I did a lot of meleeing because it's more ammo efficient to not use your bullets. But the mechanics were tight. It's a pixel art game, so, you know, if that's not something you enjoy, then obviously you're not going to like playing it. But overall, like, the graphics were fine. I don't think I lost anything because I wasn't looking at AAA graphics or anything like that. In fact, I think it added to the simplicity and the mystery of it, because you couldn't make out everything. You couldn't read all the stuff on the walls. You only got to read what they told, what they let you, which meant that they got to kind of feed you the story, and you knew you weren't missing anything, which is nice, because you could waste tons of time if the graphics were good enough that there was like letters on the notes. Like, you could, it would have required significantly more time to create, because they would have actually had to flesh that out instead of things just being scribbles or, you know, pieces of paper you couldn't read. So I definitely like that the simplicity of the graphics, which were still good. Like, I think graphics can be good if they're pixel art. You can have bad pixel art. So I think these were good pixel art graphics. But because of the style they went to choose, the style that they chose for it, everything turned out okay. Now, that said, the story is the real draw of this game. So if you watch me play, you know, the story's kind of ruined for you. But as I said, there are other options for you to do. So who knows what would have happened if I hadn't gone with the green. Maybe you're forced to do that. I don't know. Obviously, you don't need to pick up everybody. You can just run from one train station to the next. We missed a lot of the story, or a lot of the discussion between the characters on the train, which I believe is intentional. You're not supposed to be able to catch all of it. Which also is a really cool... Sorry, I just hit my mic. I think that's a really cool way to go about doing it. Like, I think a lot of the dialogue that went on in that train car is completely pointless and doesn't actually get you anything. It's just people bumbling back and forth to each other. They're sitting on the train, and you are so busy taking care of the train. Like, I feel like that really characterizes the way it goes. Like, it characterizes your priorities. You're not sitting there listening to the passengers. You're trying to keep your train functioning and alive. Now, that said, there's still a lot of ambiguity in the story. And it's obviously on purpose, but I think it worked out really well. Like, I kind of know what's going on, but honestly, it doesn't really matter to me what happened to the world in the end, because, well, you know what? I died, and supposedly that guy with the shotgun's gonna take care of my daughter. But I don't know if that I'll take care of her is a good or a bad one. There's some plan going on to get supplies around, so it seems like people are going to survive, even though the Guardian seems to have failed. There's a lot of interesting stuff going on, but at the same time, like, I almost interpreted like the portal is open. That to me sounds like a we've accepted the darkness, you know, sort of thing. But at the same time, you know, there's also the guy in the bottom of the prison who's apparently important enough that he's strung up and in that level of security. Like, what? I don't even know. So there's definitely some interesting things going on here that they purposely didn't explain, and I'm okay with that. I think that makes for a more compelling ending in terms of a what the hell did I just witness? And as a character, you might not always get all the answers. That's one of the things we take a little bit for granted when it comes to a lot of these games, is they perfectly explain themselves. And a lot of the times I think that is better for the game to do. Especially because for a lot of games, the mystery is the center of the game. Now, obviously, the fact that people are turning into those weird, goopy monsters is part of the mystery of this game, but the mystery isn't what's driving your character. It's him trying to get back home after doing this mission that he's basically been ordered to do. That's his goal. That's what's driving you. And while you're learning about the mystery, you don't have time to stop and read every book, every note, you know, study all of the conspiracy theory stuff. Now, me personally, I don't know if I'm going to play the DLC just yet. I'm going to look into what it is. And also, I'm going to be curious to see if I'm curious if there are other endings. I might do some really basic research, but I'm not going to do any spoilers. I recommend that if you enjoyed watching me play, that you play the game yourself. It might not be as engaging if you've watched me all the way, but if you've only watched some of it, then it'll probably be absolutely great to play. And who knows, maybe you'll find something different, or you'll just have some fun doing it. And honestly, even though there are some grammar errors in the game, in the dialogue, if you looked at the names in the credits, I noticed a lot of them seemed foreign. I'm not good at placing the origin of last names, but there's a lot of what looked to be foreign last names. I didn't see a lot of, like, you know, Smith, like things like that. So it seems to me like English being a second language is the reason for that. And quite honestly, it didn't matter. It made it difficult for me to read it aloud, but I knew exactly what it meant as I was reading it. I was just fumbling on the words because I was trying to read exactly what it said on the screen, while my head was like, but they're actually saying this. So I don't think that detracted from the game, even though it seemed to make me stagger a little bit over my words. That was pretty much just you're reading some slightly broken English, and that's okay. So yeah, I definitely enjoyed this game. I'm sitting here looking at this screen, and I know it's kind of boring while I'm talking while the screen's going on, but just sitting here. But I enjoyed it. I do not regret my purchase. I would do it again. I'm definitely short on some of the achievements. I think some of the achievements have to do with the DLC. I let the one guy die. That's probably the one flaw that I think that I ran into in the game, is that I was trying to get off the train to save the guy's life, and he lost enough health that it was impossible for me to get to him to save him when I got back on the train. That's about the only problem I had with it. That said, I don't know how easy that is to predict, right? So, not being able to go back, because I would have gone back to the previous level where you have to escort them on the train, right? Though the limited checkpoints obviously are intentional, but it would have been a little nice to try and prevent his death there, or at least give him enough buffer of health that he starts at, so that no matter what, I can at least save him. Because if there's more than one person that low, I guess I could understand one of them dying, because clearly the previous time you neglected them because they were both low, sort of thing. I don't know, it's hard to say, but I think that's a very small issue in the grand scheme of things. The final judgment on the final station is that I enjoyed it quite a bit. I thought the story was very compelling, and I think it did a good job of being mysterious. The soundtrack is really, really good. Definitely creepy without being too overbearing. I really need to come up with just like general criteria to rate things on when I'm at the end of this. Maybe I'll work towards that. But yeah, I enjoyed it, and I would recommend it to all of you. So, consider picking it up during the Christmas/winter Steam sale. Support the developers, and enjoy it if you haven't already gotten your fill from watching me play it. So, thank you all for watching The Final Station. I will see you next week, same time, same place. Maybe something new, maybe the DLC, I haven't decided yet, but I will judge the DLC separately if I do decide to play it. But until then, keep yourself away from those toxic spewing pods, and I will hopefully not see you as a black alien or whatever those things were, evil blob monsters. And keep your gears turning.